Mystery of the Divine Daughter, Seal of the Divine Daughter. The mystery and seal of the Divine Daughter is the wisdom of the truth that shows that the authority of the First Testament was completed with the baptism of Jesus Christ. It shows that Jesus Christ fulfilled the First Testament by his baptism of water and brought in a new age and a new baptism, the baptism of fire. The mystery and seal of the Divine Daughter unveils the truth that the Divine Daughter is the inheritance and the continuation of what came from the Garden of Eden through the First Testament and was received by Jesus Christ. The mystery and seal of the Divine Daughter shows us that Jesus Christ became the priest king and received all the authority of God and then taught and passed on that to his disciples, his apostles. It shows us the wisdom of how the symbolism in the First Testament directly continues and flows into the Second Testament and beyond. The mystery and seal of the Divine Daughter shows us that the truth that began in the garden and came through the nation of Israel was now continuing through a body of people who were the apostles of Jesus Christ. It shows us now that there is no more temple or palace but instead the direct access, the direct connection to the priest king himself. By being named the Divine Daughter we can see that the Second Testament is not the end of the story, but rather a part of the greater story, which is the story of mankind losing the way to the tree of life and that Jesus Christ is the priest king who would lead mankind back to the tree of life. Again, this is why it is named the mystery and seal of the Divine Daughter, because this wisdom is the understanding that Jesus Christ would come into the world, do half of his task, leave for a time, then return again. This is why the mystery and seal of the Divine Daughter is named that way, because it is the truth of Jesus Christ fulfilling the requirements of a Son of God for the former and the truth of Jesus Christ fulfilling the requirements of a husband for the later. For Jesus Christ was the price of the ransom for the past and Jesus Christ is the contract for the future. That is why it is called the Divine Daughter, because it is only half of the truths of the works of Jesus. For we know that Jesus taught mankind, was crucified to death and rose 3 days later. But in this we can lose sight of the symbolism of his actions. For after his baptism he held the authority of the priest king, the authority of the Divine Father and the Divine Mother. He held all knowledge and all mercy, nothing ever asked of him was refused. He taught and healed, he freed souls and healed bodies, he fed the spirit in the stomach. Nothing was beyond the power he held. And all this was before his resurrection, so let us then realize that the cross of crucifixion was not a price he paid to be a Son of God. The price of the cross of crucifixion was for something more. Therefore let us understand that the first coming of Jesus had two distinct roles. The first was to fulfill his sonship to the divine parents, the second was the something more. This something more was hidden from the First Testament, for the First Testament clearly spoke of the coming Christ, but the First Testament did not speak of the bride to Christ. The bride was revealed by Jesus himself. The bride of Christ was concealed in the First Testament and revealed in the Second Testament, unseen by Israel and beheld by the apostles. So this is the something more, this is what the cross of crucifixion was buying. Now let us understand the symbolism of the final works of Jesus during his first coming. Let us search now out the meaning of Jewish marriage. Let us inquire of the dowry, the bride price, the betrothal cup, the waiting bride, the returning bridegroom. Let us come to understand the cup of the Last Supper with the 12, let us know the meaning of the trial of the cup in the garden at Gethsemane. Let us realize that with that cup mankind was betrothed with Christ. Let us see that the cross of crucifixion was the bride price of that cup. Let us see how that the cross of crucifixion was not the price Jesus paid to be a Son of God, it was the price Jesus paid to be the bridegroom, it was the price he paid to make mankind his bride. And the Son of God was nailed upon the tree, and the blood of the divine Lamb flowed down into the soil. And blood mixed with water landed upon the place of ancient sacrifice, and the blood of Abel went silent and the sins of Adam and Eve were washed away. For that was the something more, that the blood of Jesus was the price of the bride. For without the bride price the divine daughter would never be a wife, and if never a wife she would never be a mother, and if never a mother then she would not be in the image of the Creator parents, and mankind must return to the image of God. For the blood of Jesus Christ was shed for both sonship and daughtership, because it will restore divine marriage and by that the divine family. And the bridegroom has left and the bride still waits, and when it is darkest he will return. And the baptism of fire continues.